Hi friends, it's Caitlin and welcome back to the Floating Rock Podcast. I hope you're having the most incredible day ever. I'm so happy to be here. I'm always so happy to be here. So thanks for being here with me. Yay. Okay guys, so today I love when things just keep popping up in life in general, and I guess it's even more fun that I have somewhere to come back and report it to. But something's been popping up a lot for me recently, and I just thought I'd come on and share and talk about it a little bit, I guess. But manifesting, it just keeps popping up recently, and I don't know, I think it's kind of fun and funny, and it's been a little interesting, I'm not gonna lie. So I thought I'd come on here and just talk to you guys about it. Okay, so basically my journey with manifesting, I guess, maybe it started some point in college. I definitely found out about it through TikTok or something, nothing insane. No, I lied. In high school, I'm assuming actually during COVID. I remember all that spirituality shit was just coming out all over the internet, and I don't know, people, myself included, were hopping on the bandwagon. And so I put it to the test a little bit back in my day, and let's just say it did work. So very interesting. And there are definitely a ton of different ways that people do stuff. Yeah, I thought that was super interesting in my very elementary or high school way I was doing it. After that, I think I kind of would revisit it every once in a while, and that would obviously kind of change forms throughout time, as my brain was different and my life was different and my goals were different and all that kind of stuff. So I'd say most recently it popped back up for me because I think if you've been in and around the pod, you've known that it's kind of taken me a while to finally feel settled here at home and be okay, and I'm living a real life again and not just in limbo. So after I feel I finally sort of settled down a few weeks ago, I was okay, I'm here, I'm present, I'm doing shit, I'm living a life, love it. And I was oh man, I really haven't manifested in a while. And fun fact, actually, one of the best pieces of parting advice from college I ever got was from my writing professor, my main professor for my major. I remember literally I'm walking off stage with my diploma and he just goes, "Keep your eye on the ball." I go, period. You betcha I will, girl, you betcha. But to me, I feel manifesting is kind of keeping your eye on the ball. Am I wrong? I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, a few weeks ago, I finally kind of figured my shit out, and I, was starting to get more normal shifts at work and blah, blah, blah. So now it kind of left me some more open time to, as we know, I'm pursuing individual things. I'm not working for a big film company or anything. So my creative and true career endeavors are kind of all on my own. And I felt oh, okay, time to get my eye back on the ball. What are we doing here? So I was you know what? I haven't manifested in a while. So I sat down one day and I was okay, we're just gonna freaking manifest it out. And a lot of people do it in super different ways. And I'm gonna go at the very end. I have some just of the ways that I've personally manifested. I could totally look some up and share them with you because people do things differently. But I don't know why. You can look it up if you don't want to use the ones that I do. I hate reporting on things that I don't personally do or relate to, So I'll get to that. But I sat down with my journal, I did my manifesting, and lo and behold, girls, a few weeks later, the seeds started to sprout. I was pardon? Hold on. And my favorite thing about manifesting, sometimes especially when you do it in a big chunk like that, and it's not every day, is you forget about it. I love forgetting about it, planting shit, forgetting about it, and then realizing oh shit, that was so satisfying when a few things started to go my way. I was and I go, oh my god, that's insane. Maybe it's just a coincidence, right? Maybe it's just coincidence, because you could say, oh, if you manifested it should have came true earlier, or whatever. I don't know. But to me, I was wait, this is living, breathing proof that this shit works. And obviously, I guess I'm gonna get to this now. Manifesting, what even is it? To me, manifesting is just, if you want to put it a little even more spiritually, to me it's telling the universe what you want and being open to it. And yeah, and realistically, even like deeper than that and slash less spiritual, it's just like setting goals. And when you know what you want, it's easier to work towards what you want. So when you say, oh, I want to get into Stanford, when you're writing that in your journal constantly, or you do a big manifest and you write that down, you're telling your brain like, I want this. So therefore it's easier slash you're more likely to subconsciously be working towards that goal harder or better than you would have previously, you know? So I don't know. I think it's so fun and interesting. And I love how it can go both ways. Like, I love how there is very much a spiritual side to it, and that can go much deeper, and like maybe it's like your vibrations, or if you're doing on Lionsgate and like all that kind of stuff, the energy of all that. But I also like how you can completely take the magic kind of out of it, honestly, and, you know, just look at it super logically, and even logically it makes sense. And I'm like, I just love that. Anyway, also though, recently it also came back up and I was like, okay, this is so weird. On that note, guys, I've actually been having like a lot of weird psychic-y moments recently. I don't know, they're not like insane or anything, but I don't know, I love when life does that, because it's like, I don't know, my friend, she's very much more like tuned into the more spiritual kind of stuff and just like a lot more knowledgeable than me. Hi guys, it's Eden and Caitlin. I realized I completely lost the point of my story, but to briefly say what I meant to say about the whole synchronicities thing, a lot of the time or so I've heard, in life, if you are experiencing a bunch of synchronicities and things kind of feeling weirdly universally aligned, it's, you know, commonly known as the universe kind of telling you that you're on the right path. And I don't know, I love to like lean into that when I'm in those eras of life, because it definitely does ebb and flow. I feel like there are times, kind of like right now, honestly, where there are a ton of synchronicities, and just like I'll be thinking about something and it pops up, or this and that. But then there are other times where I'm not, and maybe that means in those times I'm slightly less aligned, or maybe now I'm just hyper aligned and in the right direction. Who knows? But I found that very interesting when she told me, so I thought I'd share. Anyway, back to the pod. I was talking to her once about like synchronicities and like those moments where you feel a little psychic, like, oh, I was just thinking about this, and then this, like, that it passed me, you know. Like the other day I was thinking like, I was thinking about how like companies don't need to use marked vans, you know, like using a marked van is fully a choice. And I was taking my mom from her like physical therapy appointment, and I go like, oh, like, isn't that weird that like hypothetically like Kaiser could be like hauling dead bodies in a just completely unmarked van, but instead they use marked vans because that's just what you do. And a Kaiser van passes us, and mind you, we're like 10 minutes away from Kaiser. Like, we are leaving the area and we pass one. I was like, whoa. And a logical person would be like, well, you're still in the radius, of course you can. But I have never seen a goddamn Kaiser car in my fucking life. So anyway, just like little weird shit like that. But I was at therapy the other day. Also, guys, reminder, go to therapy, text your therapist. And if you have never been to therapy, I implore you, because I needed it so damn bad. Another fun fact about therapy too, whenever I have it, everything's fine. I'm like, oh, it's so annoying. It is so annoying. I will be down bad and I will text her and I'm like, hey girl, we need to chat. And then by the time it happens, I'm good. So it's really funny. I was like joking with her. I was like, yeah, so like now I know next time I see you, like everything's gonna be fine. But yeah, we're talking, and I was talking to her about like focusing and just kind of, you know, telling her like what I've been sort of dealing with when it does come to like pursuing my own passions and trying to find balance with also a schedule where I do answer to somebody else and trying to do my shit and all that kind of stuff, right? And she brings up manifesting. I'm like, girl, also find yourself a therapist where you're like right here, because like recently we've been like keeking and it's been lots of fun. But yeah, she brought up manifesting and she's like, oh, have you heard of it? I'm like, yeah girl, funny. I just came off of a stint of it working. Like, what the hell? So yeah, super funny and interesting. And she was just telling me about like the quantum mechanics of it all and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I left very inspired, and I was like, I'm gonna go. And I went and manifested. And that inspired me to like start manifesting in a slightly new way than I normally do, which isn't super insane or crazy, but I just thought I would share some of the ways that I have manifested / do manifest. Oh, we're already at this part. Yay. This one's a little shorter and sweeter, guys. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't need to yap your ear off forever, right? So yeah, it just inspired me to like be like, okay, wait, so like manifesting worked it has worked for me many a time, and it's worked recently. And then she brings it up, a person of authority in my head. I'm like, okay, girl, okay, love it. And furthermore, it just made me be like, okay, I think I need to talk to the Floating Rock Stars about this, because I want you guys to reap the benefits of your manifestations as well. So anywho, on to how I've manifested. Number 1. This one is the funniest to me. It is the 369 method. Very high school. Very high school. It's very much giving, let me think of a name. Adam, 3. You write it, you're writing, by the way. You write 3. Then you have the overarching bigger goal. You want to date Adam. You go, will date me, blah, blah. 6 times you write that. And then you have the more specific goal, which is, will ask me to homecoming. You write that 9 times. And yeah, that one's pretty silly and funny. And no comment on any benefits reaped from that one. Heyo. But yeah, that one's like super silly. So if you have like a little crush or like some like funny shit like that you just feel like, you know what, why not? Like, I recommend that one because I think it's like just kind of cute. It's cute. I'm not gonna lie. This is a new one that I just did literally the other day. So we're gonna see if it's gonna work. Guys, you will find out in October if this one works. So get excited. Writing down in your calendar the thing. So let's say you want, again, I'm gonna use college again, honestly. You want to get into Stanford. And you know move-in day. You even look into it. Move-in day is on August 20th for freshman year or whatever. You go into your calendar and you write in on August 20th, Stanford move-in day. Couldn't hurt. I will add also with some of these that are very much expectatory, or like you act like they're already yours. You have to go into it without like a disappointed mindset. Like, you have to just be so open, because like you can ask for everything you want ever, but sometimes you can be wrong, or sometimes things just aren't meant for you, or maybe they're just not meant at that time, you know? Like, you can beg your mom for candy as a kid, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't have had 10 Jolly Ranchers anyway, you know? So look at these metaphors, guys. Like, they just keep on coming out. But yeah, so that's another fun one I'm trying out. I will update you guys. I feel like I need to listen back to a few of my episodes, because I've had a few moments where I'm like, and I'll let you know. So maybe I'll do that and like do it like a Caitlin's Corner, and that will be a part of it, is my friggin' updates. But yeah, we will find out in October if that works. Or maybe I'll do it for a few things and see if it works for any of them. Heyo. But yeah, I'm like, wait, stick that shit in your calendar like it's already yours. That's one of the bigger ones I've just consumed also from information about manifesting. Is one of the best ways to do it is to act like it's already yours, you know? Like, you don't want it, you have it, you know? Like, a lot of people will write it in the present tense. I'm so happy that I have $50 million in my bank account. I'm so grateful that I have my dream job, you know, stuff like that. Instead of, I want this, I want that. Like, you're grateful that it's already yours, you know? Almost in a way, if we go back to that interning for your higher self thing, the higher self already exists, and you're just interning. Like, you're getting there. It already exists and you're just getting there, you know? Ooh, this has been the most prevalent, I'd say, in my recent journey with this. And it's been adding it to my daily journal routine. Reminder, I guess, if you wanted one. How I journal, this is actually so funny. The other day, Malia and I were talking about the different ways that we journal. And I was like, wait, we journal so differently. That's hilarious. She journals very, like, a little bit more poetically, a little bit more stream of consciousness. And like, yeah, it almost sounds like how someone narrates a book. And mine is a lot more, I'll just tell it to you right now. Usually it starts with like what I did that day, what I'm going to do that day. Because I like to, my journals almost aim, my audience in a way is my future self. Like, I kind of write things as I want to look back at it and remember what I did that day. And or if I'm manifesting or whatever, just like see what I was grateful for that day or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of my audience in a way. Anyway, so what I did that day, and then 3 things I'm grateful for, and then normally it goes into like some affirmations, whatever I feel like saying that day, like, you're slaying, queen. And what I've most recently added, because I used to have that quote wall in my room, and now I don't have it because I'm in a different room. But what I really liked was it would always remind me of like those things I wanted to be or be reminded of, or just mindsets I wanted to have every day. So now that I don't really have that around, I could honestly make a new one, but I haven't. What I've been really enjoying is I've just been adding my manifestations into it, kind of in the section with the affirmations. So along with being I'm kind, I'm creative, blah, 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 I'm also saying like, I got this internship, or I did that, and blah blah, you know. I'm just like adding the affirmations into my like daily journal routine, and I love it because I'm just getting constantly reminded and motivated that like this is the shit I want, and I'm gonna go get it. Right. Oh my god, another one I'm also trying out, and we will find out in the future if it works. I did like I reached out to a brand, a company, because like I think I told you guys, like, my goal, one of my New Year's goals was to make $1 off of the podcast this year. So yeah, I reached out to a brand, so we're gonna see if anything comes of that. But I like took a video of me, like, I happened to already be consuming their product while I was doing all of this, so I just took a video of me doing that as I was like writing my email, and I was like, this just feels so manifesty. So that's why it also just felt really on topic. So we'll see if that works out, but very exciting. Another one is a lot more micro, but it's like speaking things into existence, and not even necessarily in like the I am rich and I have my dream job. It's not even like that. It's more so when I talk to people about like my goals or my life or whatever, I try my hardest not to say if, but to say when. Or normally I'd be like, oh yeah, if and when, you know, whenever I'm like referring to like a goal of mine or something like that. It's always, yeah, I try my hardest not to like self-deprecate when it comes to that kind of stuff, and to just say when, you know, because like why the hell not? If you're confident in it, maybe they'll be too. But yeah, one more last little note on that once again is I think the universe has a plan. I think she does. And I think that things will come to you when they're meant to. Like, once again, that interning for your higher self episode, sometimes you can want something so bad, but you are just not ready for it, even though you want it like that. Like, I don't think I am ready to have $1 million in my bank account right now. You know, I mean, it couldn't hurt, honestly, but you know what I mean? What would I fucking do with it? So, just keeping an open mind and just being open to like receiving all of the gifts the universe has for you. And yeah, realistically, the point of this episode was to remind you to manifest. I think that realistically at this point in time, especially if you're like someone who kind of aligns with me and the pod, you fucking know what manifesting is, and you've most likely done it before. So this is my reminder to you to fucking manifest, because I feel like it's definitely benefited me in my life, and I have like a few like good ass accounts of it as well. Oh my god, another one. Me and Bestie Girl Malia have written down like, oh, we're gonna see like this character out in public one day. And we have. And it's fucking weird that like we could write down a completely random person that we don't know and we will see them. And like that's weird. So this is me just saying, I believe in it. And I hope you believe in it. And I think it could greatly benefit all of us. And yeah, this is just a reminder to take maybe any of those methods that I mentioned. Maybe it's just like you got a crush and you're going to do the 3-6-9 method, or maybe you want to add it to your everyday journaling routine. I love either of those options, both of those options. I just think that you deserve to get what you want in life, and why not tell the universe exactly what that is so it makes it easier for her to fucking deliver it, you know? But also, you know, you got to put your energy out, and you can't just like sit around and have things come to you. And that's the beauty of it. It reminds you like what you're working towards, you know? So yeah, honestly a quicker episode today, guys, but I hope that this inspired you and motivated you to get back on your manifesting game. I feel like it ebbs and flows so much unless you're like really on it and you like stay manifesting, and you're probably very successful, which I love for you. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening. I just love talking to you. So thanks for hanging out again. And yeah, I hope that all of your manifestations come true and that you do it today. It's non-negotiable. You have to do one of those. Even if it's just saying, when I make $1 million, or when I get my job, or when I freaking, I don't know. We all have different goals, right? Yeah. And also, sorry, one last callback to my first episode ever, actually. A lot of the time when it comes to manifesting and stuff like this and goal setting, a lot of time it's the goal behind the goal. So also be open to that. Like, very, very quickly, my goal last summer was to I wanted to work at a coffee shop, and it didn't happen. But realistically, I realized my goal under that goal was I wanted a social job, and that was probably one of the most social jobs in my life that summer, working at that bakery. So just be aware sometimes that what you want isn't actually what the thing is face value. It's actually sometimes something behind it. So maybe you don't actually want that dream girl or guy, but it's actually what you think they are. And there's many other people with those qualities, and maybe it's not that exact job at Pinterest, but it's actually just a role where you get to be creative. All that kind of stuff. Just be open, and good things will come your way. Okay. Peace and love and peace. Follow the pod, rate the pod 5 stars. I'll love you forever. Kisses and hugs. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.